Hi, you've caught me for my tip of the week, but this week I'm in the airport. I want to talk a little bit about something we started last week. We talked about process mapping. We specifically talked about RACIs or RACIs, and I want to expand upon that because this week it became clear in some of my discussions that this is probably something that a lot of people don't think about. When we think about training for an initiative or a rollout, we think about this idea of having to tell everyone everything we know, and we put them all through a 3-day class or a week-long class. And we know that's not effective because a lot of times by the time they go through that much content, when they get to the part that really pertains to them, they lose it. They aren't paying attention, they're tuned out at that point. So one of the things that you can do with that RACI, that responsible, that accountable, that support and information, or for those of you that use RACI, responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed or information. For those, if we know the R and we know the A, then we can build training specifically to the roles. So if you think about it, if you have somebody that's in a specific role, they don't need to know every step in the process. What they need to know is their R's. And if they're a supervisor, they need to know their A's so that they can hold their direct reports that have the R's accountable for those as we go forward. So if you're thinking about beginning your implementation or your process mapping exercise, don't stop at the RACI. The RACI is just a step along the way. You need to spend the time to take that RACI, convert that into training that is specifically catered to the role or responsibility. Again, this will do two things for you at the end of the day. It's going to create a much shorter training experience for some of your individuals who don't have as many R's, which means they can pay attention and retain that content. But the other half is they're getting exactly what they need to be successful in those new processes. I hope this helps you as you go through the exercise. And as always, if you have questions or you'd like to learn more about the topic, please feel free to reach out to Eruditio. Have a great day.